Welcome to a new Daily Top Askreddit video. Today's topic.
What do you think is even more intimate than sex? I read books to the woman I'm in love with. Most of the time she lays her head on my chest and we cuddle while I read. One day she asked me to read to her and that's how it started. We've laughed and cried together because of it. Wouldn't trade those moments for the world. This is one of the most beautiful things I've read. It almost made me tear up. This is so special. You are special, but I'm a creep. Knowing I don't have to be scared of what their reaction is going to be when I'm going through something, need something. This is top comment in my opinion. So many people's relationships are going down the drain because they don't have this basic thing in a relationship. Too scared to be open since they might blow up or get mad. I had this exact issue with my ex. I was never able to express myself to her because she'd always get mad. Her response would always be, if you don't like it you can leave, which true, but you don't say that to the person you supposedly care and love. Letting someone see you at your most vulnerable, whether that's crying, sharing your deepest fears, or being completely honest about your feelings. If a woman still wants to sleep with a man after seeing him cry, she might be the one. My BF teared up because I was so upset and sad about something a few weeks ago. It was the sweetest thing and made me feel even closer to him. Can I quote my soon-to-be ex-wife? Do you know how unsexy it was to see you cry because of the rejection of our daughter towards you? Okay, sorry that in the 4 years of existence of our daughter I have felt like I have gave everything I can to her and every single time I am met with rejection because I am not mom. Sorry, I have so much love to give and felt frustrated by not being able to. Sending you a digital hug, man. That is an awful experience to have. Hope the best for you in your future when you can start to heal. Putting together IKEA furniture with someone, without getting into an argument. That's like IKEA furniture arriving assembled. Me and my wife sneak out of our house after we put the kids to bed, and climb onto the roof above the porch in the summer, fall. We live in the countryside so we see all the stars. And have total privacy, no neighbors. We lay there kissing, cuddling, stare into each other's eyes and talk about our deepest darkest thoughts and feelings. For hours, any problems we have usually get solved on that roof. We pour our hearts out. It's not a regular thing we do, but it usually happens 1 to 2 times a year. Childish and kid-like things like that, keeps us both young at heart. And the romance alive and well, like it was when we met as teenagers. The spark burns like it did when it was all new. You're every kid's dream parent, OMG. I hope to have the long-lasting love you and your wife share someday. Staring into someone's eyes for several minutes and not looking away. Consensually, of course. Strangely very intimate. Weird on the train though, thinking face. Me scoozy. Sex too. Too sexier. The sex and the sexier. Eye contact that lingers a little too long, deep talks at 3 a.m, and kisses so good they make you forget your own name. I just had those kisses for the first time in my life, and I'm in my 50s. Agreed. Sex is fun and all, but getting that perfect kiss that makes you forget how to speak is peak. Wiping someone's butt because they can't for medical reasons, lol. I was really strung out, drinking like 35 to 40 drinks a day, taking a bunch of opioids and benzos, and I'd known my current girl for like 2 months, maybe even less. I hadn't showered in 2 weeks, was waking up in horrible withdrawal every 4 hours, puking up green stuff including down the side of my leg. I had dried period blood caked on my dick and general crotch area that I didn't bother washing off. Just generally really ill and disgusting. I was scared to shower because the withdrawal had caused me to have a couple seizures, and I was convinced I'd have one in the shower and fall and hit my head. Also, I had a recent concussion from getting punched in the face. A few days later I'd be in the ICU for necrotizing pancreatitis. My girl put me in her bathtub, literally scrubbed me. I didn't let her scrub my ass crack, but she did everything else. I've pretty much just tried to block that stuff out, lol. Definitely one of my lowest moments and I hate thinking about how she did that. But I am super thankful. Wow, that is an amazing and caring woman. My sister broke both her arms in a downhill bike race and her new boyfriend had to do everything for her. She said her back had never been so clean. They're married now. Yep, I have Crohn's and I was so sick one time I had to ask my husband to wipe my butt because it hurts too much and I couldn't do it myself. Not anyone's greatest moment in life. Cuddling. Tongue kissing. That's why prostitutes don't kiss. Stop hiring prudish prostitutes, bro. Trust. My wife and I use the same unlock pattern on our phones so we can borrow each other's phone when needed. A friend of hers saw her borrow my phone to look something up and her eyes popped out of her head. You know his password. Quote. Yep, my fiancé and I both use each other's phones for stuff sometimes and we know each other's passcodes. I don't keep secrets from my partner. Showing genuine interest in something they really like, which shows you're genuine about your interest in them outside of looks, sex. I met my best friend when we were 16. At 22 I graduated college and left for the army. After that we lost contact. At 34 I was medically discharged and we reconnected via a Facebook message at 3 a.m. with a simple, hey. What began as a simple weekend between friends turned into her crying in my arms about how much she missed me and how glad she was to see me. Having the girl who took my virginity lying in my arms crying over how scared she was I was going to die overseas was more intimate than anything. We got married 2 months ago. This is a Hallmark movie. I think blowjobs are way more intimate than sex and it's surprising to me that people consider them not a big deal. Don't get me wrong, I love giving my husband head, but I know it's much more intimate than sex. When I was single I would be way more willing to just have sex than give a blowjob. But that is sex. Sex is the bigger umbrella that blowjobs are under, same as masturbating. But you and I and everyone else reading this knows they're not the same. If there is eye contact then oral is extremely intimate. Exactly, it's more intimate because I'm watching how every move and flick I do affects him. I love it. I low-key agree to an extent. Sex for me I feel as connected to someone as I can be, that's why I don't sleep around unless I'm dating the girl. But if my GF were to give me head, I get in like a different zone of connection. I can't really explain it. Looking your partner in the eyes while you give birth to a child you created together. Cannot get more intimate than that. I took a photo of my husband holding and looking at our firstborn for the first time. The pure love and joy in his eyes is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen and I wanted to remember it forever. So true, face holding back tears. In my case, getting my baby cut out of me while staring at my partner. Talking while cuddling for me. Especially in the dark, all the random talks and good jokes come out while cuddling in the dark. Unmasking and letting your true inner goober hang out. Being super weird with your partner and then having them be equally weird versus weirded out is a great feeling. Poopoing while your SO is showering. How do you flush it down the drain, though? Thinking face. Have you ever seen that Spanish festivity where they step on tomatoes in Valencia? Now you know. I pick it up and shoot a turnaround J into the toilet while yelling, Kobe. Quote, fuck that. I would never subject other people to the evil demons I exercise when I shit. I don't even like being in there with myself. It's very rare that I'm offended by my own brand. Basically have to be sick for it to be too much for my own senses. Getting her a cup of ice chips during chemo. That made me cry, happy crying face. I have cancer and any help during that time is so precious. Feeling safe. For example, falling asleep in his arms. Damn, I almost cried just thinking about it. I wish so badly I could sleep in his arms again. Sadly, we can't be together anymore. What happened? Her father, the king, forbade it. For he was but a lowly baker's son, and his flower footprints betrayed their midnight trysts one too many times. Sharing the same save game from Cyberpunk 2077. That's too intimate. There are limits. Or BG3. Enjoying each other's silence and just being present together. I hope to find that someday. Loyalty. Different kind of intimacy altogether. Absolutely transcendental. Saying you love someone. Most couples will have sex before they say they love each other. Had to scroll way too far down to find this. I wanted to throw this out there, but thought it would seem cheesy and naive. Of course, I love you. Those 3 words are among the most important, but naturally it's not about the words themselves. It's about the emotion behind them. I really want to have deep sex with someone who lavishes me with I love you's, face holding back tears, maybe someday. Caring for her when she is sick. Sharing your innermost secrets. Even more, back to back. So it's metaphorical and literal for, I've got your back. Talking money and finance without it becoming an argument. Shampooing your partner's hair. Ifikik. Found Charles Boyle. Talking honestly and openly about past traumas and insecurities. The vulnerability of handing somebody a piece of information that could be used to crush you completely and trusting that they won't use it that way is terrifying and requires infinitely more trust in a person than sex, in my experience. Swooning. Feeling safe with someone. Sharing music I've written with a romantic partner. Especially if it's about them. Sharing poetry, fanfic too. I'm super creative and the words just gush out of me, but actually working up the nerve to show them to the people they're about is another kind of anxiety. For me personally, it's letting my partner touch places nobody else is allowed to touch. Specifically my back and my neck, which are places I don't enjoy being touched by other people. Though I'll be honest, both my neck and back are extremely sensitive and I don't generally like being touched by others. Letting someone play with your good controller. Opening up about past. Telling him everything about your past, secrets and all. Yes. Reading someone's journal from when they were teenagers in front of them. That's just mean lol, drew a bunch of naked girls in my middle school journal lol. I mean with the person's permission. Isn't that every guy, lol. Eye gazing, going number 2 with your partner in the bathroom. High dose psychedelics alone with partner. Laughing together, having your own inside jokes. To me it feels way more intimate. Or having nicknames for someone inside your friend group. My husband and I have been married for 26 years. Every now and then we stay awake all night in bed and talk. It's intimate and invigorating. Popping someone else's acne. Vile. This is why I pay for internet. My wife actually gets disappointed my blemishes aren't bad enough to be able to do this. I am like that too. I wish his skin was just a little bit worse, respectfully.